That's real life. Open countryside, beautiful community of Raglan, all watching one of the greats do her thing. Steph's always talked about, and you wonder what happens with being 15 and being on tour, you know, and what kind of pressure comes with that. Like you mentioned, Shrew, the result that didn't go her way against Carissa had her just burst into tears, and then she had a great moment with her hero as we look at Anat Leilor pushing hard on the open face in the non-priority heat with Steph Gilmore. She goes down. But yeah, pressure's a real thing. With Tia, I was talking to Marcio Zuvi and the Sharp Eye crew. Slips off, doesn't have priority, chasing excellence as Steph Gilmore will lock into this one. 8-time world champ, fresh off her 34th championship tour win. Just as stylish, going left as she is on her forehand. Tagging a bunch of sections down the line. Finds a nice section there to go over the top of and whips one towards the tail end. Will ride away and step off
to the opening rides. Let's have a look at the replay here of Steph. You can see naturally a little bit taller than her competitor. She gets great leverage off the backhand here and just ropes some of these backhand turns. Starts to wind up through the inside, connects with that section beautifully, and yeah, nice pivoting action.
Now we'll watch Anat Leilor respond to Gilmore. Our surfer from Israel locks in a nice little hook. Pushes into the pocket again. She hasn't had a win since Bells at the season opener in the opening round. She just pushing that frontside wrap into the pocket till she gets down towards the boat ramp.
Having that experience at Raglan as well.
And then the contrast to Anat Leilor, Richie.
Yeah, a little sleepy cutback to start off. Now she winds up, bit more power on that one. Brings it through to the inside. The wave does start to sit down just a little bit. But Leilor keeps the power on through these final turns.
I think Steph right now, she's looking comfortable in at home.
That was a 2012 year, so Carissa had got the world title the year before. Steph answered back and got what would be her 5th world title out of 8 that she's collected in her career. Steph Gilmore down the line, mixing it up a bit, tagging the lip, going into some carves, and fitting a lot into that small shape of the pocket there.
Loved it. Here we go, Steph.
She's looking good. Just attacking these sections, and she still has that really drawn out, beautiful style, but the attack when she needs to. And I feel like for Steph, you know, she was even saying on the way here, she's like, yeah, you know.
Just keeps the flow going down the line. She's in the heat with Anat Leilor, which is now the priority heat. Live action with the rookie throwing out a carve. She's got a little more wall than Steph's wave. And she's finding some nice speed there. Hits it off the lip, right into a wrap in front of Gilmore. Pushing hard just to keep that line into the pocket. Lays into it again with that powerful back foot.
She's utilizing it to perfection right now. And Nat, she's drawing it out really, really smooth on her forehand. A little bit of a bump there, though.
Yeah, caught an edge on that second turn. And sort of highlighting a fair bit of horizontal work as well, where she's going out on the face and just bringing it back into the whitewash, but it doesn't have that.
I knew she's like incredible competitors and incredible competitor, and I had to really do my best, trying to not do any mistake to make it. And yeah, just like try to surf on my best.
Nice spicy turns, but only in that 3 range at the moment.
Tia still the youngest in the draw. Alani just a little bit older than Tia Zabrowski as we look at the form of Anat Leilor, finding a good wall once again and good speed through her turns, managing her tempo really well to start this one off against Gilmore, and just fitting in turns on the flatter face through the ribs.
You haven't seen that. Oh, okay, there it is, that moment. You can see Anat, she's working up towards it. She's finding a little bit more momentum. There, she's really laying into the rail. She just, at the start of her waves, like we saw from Erin and even Alyssa, didn't have those steeper sections where she could go vertical, but she's making the most of what she's got, adding in the variety, that little drop wallet as well. It's, you know, what excites the people on the beach is what gets the judges even, you know, keeping their eyes open for it. And I think it looks like it's tricky to surf when it gets a little bit lumpy, but these guys are making it look easy.
Yeah, a
these
little
girls,
easterly flow with that bump on the open face, but it seems like Anat's been picking the right lines. Now Gilmore needs to answer. The 8-time world champ, current world number 7. Finding some sections to work with. More of an arcing turn off the top there, already into the open face for the backhand cutty. Looking for one more, finds the lip line there, and she will step off. Bumpy sections. How did Steph do here, Rich?
Let's have a look at the backhand attack from Steph. Nice and smooth. Great angle on that second turn. A little cut down. That one a bit more higher, and she repeats it down the line here. Steph stitching this wave together quite smoothly, but again, it's when she does that sort of cut down action instead of that top to bottom figure 8 motion. I think the judges will be aware of that, but really good contrast in styles. Taller, standing a little taller on the backhand with Steph, and then Anat's that little bit sort of lower center of gravity, and she's really eroding your confidence when you're in that round before you even kind of enter the water. But here we go, live action with Steph.
Steph Gilmore coming off a big first turn, already throwing it back into the pocket with a cut back. Arcs it off the top again. She's hoping to square up a bit more there. Better turn down the line. Off the lip again, pushing hard towards the tail end here. She's running out of room. Gilmore still trying to push her points through this inside section. And she hung in there just for that last real little lip slap off the top, and she steps out of there for a moment, and then in back-to-back waves, Steph got into the 6 range. 6-3-3, 6-4-7, got the 2 best numbers of the matchup.
Steph Gilmore lighting it up on the backhand. What? Feel like we don't get to see that enough.
I know, me neither. It's fun. I was thinking back to a women's event we used to have in Peru at a wave called Mancora, and it was kind of similar to this, like cobblestone left-hander, and I actually got a win there. It was like 2007. And yeah, I just thought, oh yeah, you can do it. Just knuckle down and look fierce and look hungry, and I think the judges really appreciate it when you just look like you want it. So for me, that's kind of half the problem. I always look a bit too what do you call it, the Parko problem, where you just look a bit too lazy.
He'd love that. Hey, look, obviously you've surfed your way back into top form. The last heat at Snapper is the best we've seen you surf this year by a long way, but you've brought that energy here, as you say. How hard was it for you to just rinse that off and sort of go back to square one in the lead up to this?
Yeah, I was really nervous for this heat. Anat's an incredible surfer, and we've seen what she can do on her backhand, so I was actually, it's one of those things here at this wave where you're sort of looking at your draw, hoping you've got, as a natural footer, I really wanted a goofy footer, so you have that point of difference. And but yeah, it was just about wave choice, and I wanted to do my best. Every time I surf a heat, I want to surf my best. And I think for me, I'm still like you said, I've won a lot, but I feel like I'm still learning. My surfing's got a lot of room for improvement. So yeah, I'm happy with that heat win. But my backhand, it's fun to surf a new wave. I think everyone's excited to be here and surf somewhere different and meet all the local crew. It's awesome.
And I asked you this, and I'm at the Goldie, and I might ask you again, just seeing as though we're here. But, after a slow start to the year, getting a win really does put you in a great place for a run at a world title. The conversation starts to lean that way anyway. How realistic is that goal for you this year now that you're back here and the adrenaline's worn off from the Gold?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you you doubt yourself when you get a couple of bad results, and then to kind of shake off all of that and get a win, and then you start to go, oh, maybe it's still in me somewhere, and if I can apply myself properly and really surf smart heats and sort of capitalise on mistakes and stuff, then you can definitely put yourself in a position to go for the world title. But it's a long year ahead, and all the locations ahead of me are places that I'm really probably my weak points in all my surfing. So yeah, like I said, I'll definitely do my best, but I don't know, I look at all the young women on tour and they're just amazing, so I'm just stoked to be here. Every heat I make is just another bonus to what I've achieved in my career, so I'm just stoked with that. But Stoked to win a heat on my backhand too. That's rad.
Yeah, well, we'll get to see you again against another goof too, Sawyer Lindblad, in the next one.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Sawyer's a great surfer, so looking forward to it.
We look forward to it too, Steph. Congratulations.